Hey guys, it's Saru, and those who know me are well aware that I'm a huge fan of the horror genre, be it movies, video games, TV shows, you name it. The genre has always fascinated me, and I've always been drawn to the endless battle of what will scare me. The truth is, not much does. But when I heard Moons of Madness would be making its way to consoles, I had to immediately get my hands on it. So let's get right into it. Before I continue, I want to thank the team over at Funcom for providing me a copy of the game in order to review it. I had a few days with the game and we'll just see how much it wins me over with this genre. Now, Moons of Madness is a first-person, story-driven cosmic horror game where the scientific exploration of Mars meets the supernatural dread of Lovecraft. Keep in mind, in this review I will be going completely spoiler-free. Trust me, it's worth it. Now, if you're a fan of the Secret World or the Secret World Legends, or even just a fan of the lore of the game itself, which to this day, I still say that it's the best written story of all time for any MMORPG, then do yourself a favor and stop watching this immediately and get the game now.
The CEO of Orochi?
But now that that's all cleared up, we can continue. Now, you start the game off getting right into the action rather quickly. Having played a lot of games of this genre, it usually builds up, not with Mom. That's right, for the sake of both the fact that it sounds funny and the abbreviated Moons of Madness as Mom. We'll just go with that for the rest of the review. It starts you off just right. The crew, all settled in Mars, are all theirs and founded by the Orochi group, which, if you follow the lore from the Secret World, it's a pretty awesome little feature. There's a mystery going on, and you have to figure it out, like most games. Now, you play as Shane Newhart, an engineer with a famous family, as you come to find out later on. As I said, you start the game getting right into the action quickly, mostly because this has to do with Shane having a nightmare, and while it teases what the game has in store for the rest of the experience. Like most of these games, in his nightmares are some things that just couldn't be possible. They show up and scare the crap out of him. Though as for the game itself, the atmosphere may seem familiar due to the genre. Hell, even Dead Space comes to mind. But the game has a very strong dialogue, voice acting, and writing. I have to be honest, in these games, the plot usually gets lost on me and I start losing attention. Not with Moons of Madness. It really was fantastic writing. Though the game did have some troubling moments with me, mostly because I had to get my mathematics books and become a scientist as well as a botanist to truly understand what was going on. The game made it easier for me to understand what was really happening, at least without needing a degree in these subjects. Now, usually in these types of games you expect to walk endlessly. Hell, in my last horror game review for Infliction, which wasn't really a review, it's mostly a full gameplay video, and it was a live stream, and then I did a little review at the end. This was something I truly wish had more excitement. Not with Moons of Madness, however. Though you do have to walk around, well, everywhere, sometimes for a while. The game provides incentive for doing this. The game is an adventure title after all, and does offer a lot of clues in its overall lore, per se, so it's forgivable. Shane has specific quests or missions to complete, which usually is just going from one level to another, so you'll know when things are about to get interesting once a checkpoint marker has appeared on the top left of your screen. These missions or quests are to be expected of someone on Mars, recalibrating solar rays, finding power sources to start things up, trying to breathe, the usual, I guess. But it's not as easy and simple as, say, just going outside and getting things done. The game has an interesting mechanic where it really wants you to be immersed. When you want, or need in this case, to go outside, you need to find an airlock, put your helmet on, fill up your suit with oxygen, depressurize the airlock with the button near the exit, then walk out. Failing to do these things may get you killed. Trust me, you don't want to do that, especially if your checkpoint was quite a while ago. Now, if you thought that was easy, there are an endless amount of puzzles to solve, which, by the way, if you need help with this game, you can check out my walkthrough guide and this whole review on my website at Sarumonin.com. Some are easy, some require a little bit of thinking, but almost every single time there will be clues or hints around the area of that specific puzzle, for example, in order to help you clear it. I guess you could say they aren't really that much of a puzzle, since they are telling you what to do, though I must say some of them really had me losing my damn mind. Don't get me started on the poison making section of the game. The game does offer a lot of stuff like scenarios, but really, they don't feel necessary. From scanning cameras to crawling underneath debris, or making sure that you're not seen by insane robots. It just feels unnecessary. It's not too bad, but still, it doesn't feel like the game really requires you to be stealthy. Apart from this, you don't really see the danger in the game when it comes to not being stealthy. Now, Moons of Madness doesn't really overuse any of these mechanics really, even when it comes to climbing or needing to jump down locations. Still, it did its job at least. Now, I love Lovecraft. I have a huge book of his stories, and hell, I even voice acted in the action rogue horror game Lovecraft's Untold Stories. So believe when I say that I'm a huge fan of this overall mythos. Did it scare me? Sometimes. I'll admit it was due to the jump scares, and sometimes the atmosphere in the game made me really want to stop for a moment to take a breath before I really dove in. This was mostly because of the audio cues and the overall atmosphere of the audio itself, but overall it isn't really that scary. However, as I said, the storytelling, the puzzles, the voice acting, the dialogue, the overall adventure of the game more than overcompensates for this. The game isn't that long, about 3 to 5 hours long, depending on how you play the game, but if you're looking for a game with fantastic graphics, except for when you confront Ina, but we'll let that one slide for now, with Lovecraft-inspired storytelling and a connection to the Secret World's lore, then this game is for you. One last thing, if there is anything you can take away from this game, is learning how to balance a centrifuge. The entire chapter took me almost an hour to clear. I'm still having nightmares about it. So Moons of Madness is available now, March 24th, 2020. It's available on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which releases today. A special thanks again to Funcom and to Rock Pocket Games, developer, for sending me a copy of the game to review it. It was a blast. Now, if you want to see my overall review of this game, you can check it out at Sarumonin.com. I also have a rating on there with the pros, the cons, and a little more details and images to help you out, along with a walkthrough that will help you out with this game if you choose to purchase it. I hope that helps you guys. So anyways, make sure to subscribe and click that adorable bell to know when I upload a brand new video. Want to support me even further? Join my Patreon at patreon.com/Sarumonin for exclusive videos, behind the scenes videos, also getting videos before anybody else, and shoutouts on YouTube and on my website, and so much more. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.